What is up? Welcome to the Coach's Corner. This is number 19, Coach's Corner number 19. I actually had to do a little bit of like adjusting on the numbering system because I apparently lost track, or I just mislabeled something. I don't know which, but whatever. It's all good. It's number whatever we are, whatever number this is. So we can pause the music today. Just turn it down a little bit. It is Tuesday. How's everybody doing today? Got at least a couple people in chat already. That's a great question. Stream delay, let me check. If I am, I'm going to close the stream and reopen it. I'm just letting you know. I thought I turned the delay off, but I may not have. Advanced. No, there should be no delay. I do not have the delay enabled. Like I just checked the settings. So, and by you responding as quickly as you are, I'm guessing that we're good, Pirate. So, how are you today? Hopefully all is well in the library. Who else we got hanging out today? Daryl. It's good to see you. Got 2 people at least hanging out. So the library has slowed down. Is it like, I guess you're kind of in the midst of, we're now, I guess this is week 4. Is it week 4 or week 5 of the semester now? So it's, I mean, we're in it. We're basically in the midst of it right now. If you, in the midst of the season or the academic calendar year, if you will. So yeah, thank you. Week 5, like we're 5 weeks into it out of a 16-week semester. So we are like right in the thick of things. So it should, what is happening? I'm sorry, guys. I just saw something and I'm like, come on, man. So I'm looking at our ECU calendar. I like, while I was asking myself like how far we are in this semester and stuff, I see this, like somebody clearly was not having a good day and they tried to upload something, or that maybe that is the name of the art exhibit. I don't know, but it's just funny seeing just I tried on the ECU calendar. That's pretty funny. Anyways, but yeah, we are 5 weeks into the semester now. We are just cruising along. So it is. This is actually our first day of the season. So our national season begins today, and I'll share with you guys the schedule, and we'll take a look at the matches that we have upcoming. And this is again one of the annoying parts about esports. My biggest gripe is that we won't know and we won't have a schedule until like the last minute, and that is very true. So just so we're on the same page, I'm going to show the League of Legends team. They play Tuesdays. They play on Tuesday nights, so that is tonight. They did their placement last Tuesday, so last week, and then we got their schedule basically last night. So it took 6 days from after placement to when the schedules were posted. So now we know who we're playing. We're playing Kansas State University. So like that's one of the cool things about playing nationally is like when we play nationally, we go up against all kinds of random schools across the country. And so our first matchup of the League of Legends season is going to be against Kansas State University, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So there is Kansas State University. That is the school we're going up against. They have looks like a pretty full roster of League of Legends players, which is great. And that's who we'll play against tonight. So now that we're at placement, we are playing 3 different schools. Now we're in the regular season, and it's a best of 3. So we will play up to 3 matches against this one school. So, and it is best 2 out of 3. So if we lose one, we'll play another one. If we lose twice, then we'll be out. But the goal is to win twice so that we can move on. And yeah, so we are now in a conference. We all got broken into divisions, so you guys can. I've talked about this a lot, and so now you guys can see visually what it looks like. But the stages, when I look at the leagues, the divisions, they have in each of the games, they break all of the games into divisions. I need to move my face so you can see. So you can see all the divisions that they happen. So like for Valorant, there are looks like 1 through 8. Is that right? 9, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 9. Looks like 9 divisions for Valorant. 3, 6, 9. So, but in each of these divisions are going to be different areas. So even within a division, there could be multiple breakouts of that. So, for example, in Division 8, there are 48 teams, and they've taken those 48 teams and broken it out into 6 different brackets for that conference. And so each of our groups is going to be like that, which is why this whole national thing is such a big deal. Like it's a big deal because it's a lot of work to do this. So in League of Legends, there are 8 divisions. We're in Division 7. We are then in West A. So like that's kind of the way that it breaks down for League of Legends. There are 8 divisions. Divisions are done from a variety of factors, and I haven't gone through and double checked like is Division 1 like the top players in the country? Is it set up that way or is it different? So I've done a little bit of research on our grouping, and they seem pretty close to where we're at as far as an average ranking. But still, there are for League of Legends there are 8. And we're in the 7th division, and we're in the West Conference, which is pretty neat. So, and then when I pull up the Western Conference here, you can immediately start seeing ECU Tigers show up as potential matches. So I now have the schedule for League of Legends. We will be posting it. Tonight we play Kansas State University, which is awesome, but we will start to post like a schedule for each of the sports and when they're playing and who they're playing. So that will start to happen. Unfortunately, we didn't get the schedule until like last night, so we'll play a little bit of catch up today, but we now have regularly scheduled matches for League of Legends, and which is just a part of League of Legends. They will compete both nationally and regionally this semester. And so we will also have Great American Conference League of Legends matchups, and those should start this Thursday. When I checked in, I've been kind of in touch with the Great American Conference, my peers, because so far when I looked earlier today, there was just us and another team signed up for League of Legends. So there should be more than that. We should have like at least 6 schools. So yeah, it's still only 2. But for the Great American Conference, we will be playing League of Legends and Super Smash Brothers for the fall. So that'll be kind of what we look at for the fall semester. And we've got 9 schools signed up for Super Smash Brothers. So that's going to be awesome. And registration closes for that tomorrow. And we have all of our schools that you should recognize in here. You got Arkansas Tech, Oklahoma Baptist, you got East Central University, you got Northwest Oklahoma State, you got Oklahoma Baptist. Again, they have, it looks like 2 teams, maybe. Got Southeastern, Harding, and Southern Nazarene, and then SWOSU, Southwest Oklahoma State University, which is our Great American Conference matchups. We have 5 people that can compete in the Great American Conference. So we've submitted 5 players to compete. And so we will start that this Friday. So potentially we have League tonight. We will potentially have League of Legends on Thursday night. We for sure will have Super Smash Brothers Friday evening. How we go about streaming that, we're still trying to figure out, but we will get that situated eventually. And yeah, and also note too, there's going to be a lot of like just constant updates. We're playing catch up in a lot of ways. And I was talking with somebody. So part of today, we'll talk about this weekend. And I got to visit with a couple esport companies and a couple different directors and people who were dealing in esports. So let's talk about this weekend. So Saturday, I took 6 students. We went to Oklahoma City. We went to what was called the Skyline at Oklahoma State Fair. It was a close combat league tournament. So all of the close combat games that we play. So think about like Super Smash Brothers, Tekken, Street Fighter 6 was one that we competed in. So we took 6 students up there. Honestly, it was mostly for the experience and the exposure. We have a lot of new players that, you know, they maybe have competed in high school. Some of them didn't. So for me, it was mostly the experience of us going. And the quote I came back with was, we didn't win any awards or accolades, but came back with a bunch of camaraderie and experience. And that was very valuable. So that was on the way home, my quote that I came up with for the event. We didn't win any awards or accolades, but we came away with camaraderie and experience, which was incredibly valuable. And so, yeah, we competed in Street Fighter 6. We had several people in Street Fighter 6. We had several people in Super Smash Brothers singles. We had a couple people want to try out Tekken and Guilty Gear, so they were able to play in that. And it's like, for me, we're there. We might as well get it whatever experience, and it helps the players try new things and visit other people. And so it was really fun. And we, as you can see, it was a massive tournament. We were there from probably about noon to close to 5. We left right at 5. Results-wise, we did not win anything major, but we had a couple of students go actually decent. And John Kelso was one of them, goes by Smith. And he actually won 3 rounds of Street Fighter 6. So it was a double elimination tournament. And so going up against 3 opponents is really good. That means that he got to play 5 total matches of the whole event. And so that's really good. The other one was we had one Reese actually go and win 2 matches in Super Smash Brothers. So he had a really unfortunate matchup. So part of the reason we go to these things is so that the players can get the opportunity to go up against top talent. I'm very honest and transparent. We are not a top talent school right now. Like, we are building, we are growing. And so we have a wide variety of people's skill when it comes to this. So people always ask me like, oh, how good are you? We're getting there, but that's not why we're here. We're not here to be like, we're not here to beat the #1 schools in the country. They have been the #1 schools in the country for a while, and we're a small fish entering a very large pond. And there's a lot of big fish in the pond already. So my goal at East Central University is not to go out and just win a bunch of championships and trophies. That's not very realistic. So it is any time that we have an opportunity to play against those type of talent is extremely valuable, because it really opens the players' eyes. It also, it really opens their eyes to where they stand in the ecosystem, and that's important. But it also is good. There's that saying that you play up to your competition, you don't play down to your competition. And so I want us going up against really high caliber players, because, that means that we have a better opportunity to get better through that process and to learn a lot. And one of them there was one of the players there was named Starboy. He is he is considered the number one Super Smash Brothers player in the state of Oklahoma. He is an incredible close combat game fighter. I mean, he just is a really good player. And Reese, poor Reese, first round of the Smash tournament goes up against Super Berry. Super Berry is his name. Sorry, I said Starboy. Super Berry is this guy's name. Our player is Starboy, who didn't get to go, and he's also an incredibly high caliber player. But uh, Super Berry was there, and Reese went up against him in the first round. So very first competition match, going up against the number one person, and Reese held his ground. Like he got some stocks, he was able to do some damage. So it wasn't a total wash, but it still sucks when you have to go up against like the best person in the state. But at the same time, you can't really be mad about that because that's good experience to have that, to be able to say, yeah, I went up against that person. And then, so not only did that happen, Super Berry goes up against Reese. Super Berry also goes up against Justin, who is our brand new Street Fighter 6 player. Like, Justin is just fresh out the gate. I mean, he is like, he's learning and developing and like wants to do well. And so he's coming into our program like from the outside. And so, and this was all new to him. Like, this was his first, champ tournament like this. Like, and then he sits down and his first Street Fighter match is against Super Berry, the best close combat player. And then Justin did some things. Like, it wasn't a total wash, but he definitely got beat pretty bad. But Justin was executing on things that we were practicing, things that him and I had practiced on. So it was cool to see him implement. And Justin was excited that he was like, "Hey, coach, did you see I got that move?" But then at the same time, he was like, "Man, that went really bad." And that's when I had to pull him aside, like, "Hey, you really need to take this into perspective. Like, you've only been playing for a few months. You just went up against like the best person in the state. Like, you got to kind of take it with a grain of salt and use it for a learning opportunity and not stress about how you actually did as much." So it was really great. I uploaded some photos. I'm gonna see if they're on here. I did upload them earlier, so hopefully they'll be ready for y'all to see, and I'll share them. We posted them on Facebook too, so if you're following us on our Facebook, we have all of the photos on there as well. So, oh yeah, there they are. Sweet. Oh, hopefully we can look at them. Okay, good. Yeah, these are just some photos from the event, just to kind of show what we saw and where we were at. They had a lot of vendors and booths set up, so I didn't. And I got asked several times, like, "Well, why didn't you bring it? Why didn't you set up a recruiting booth?" It was I was glad in the end that I did not. Let's put it that way. I was glad that I did not. This was the main stage, so they had the main stage there, and then they had it broadcast. I would guesstimate there was probably 400 or 500 people there. It was very busy. Like there was quite a bit of people. I took capture of like what their commentating area looked like because one, we need to do some work on ours, but so yeah, I was like, when I go to these things too, peel away from the players playing and I go out and visit with like the vendors and talk to the other coaches and get their feedback and what they're dealing with. And this is just kind of a sample of part of the room of what it looks like. They had stations set up all along the building. Like I said, there's about 300 to 400, 500 people there kind of migrating in and out, as the day was going on. This was one of our players. They had locks on all of the Nintendo Switch. I just thought that was kind of funny that it makes sense. You don't want people walking off with their stuff, but they had 3D printed lock boxes, which I 3D print stuff and you could literally like snap that stuff in half. Like, it's not that strong. So yeah, definitely a good attempt. Here's one of ours. This is Cole. Cole played them all, man. He's the captain of the close combat team. He wanted to do everything. So he played Street Fighter, he played Tekken, Smash, Guilty Gear. Like, he just did all of it. So, and he had a great time. He had a really, really fun. It's one of our players, Levi here on the left, the gentle giant. More photos of Cole. This is John Kelso. He's the one that did really well in Street Fighter. He went 3 wins in Street Fighter, so he did really well. Was a trooper though. You can see him with his broken leg. Like, he was a trooper the whole time we were there. Like, it was far. It was a jaunt. It was a journey to get there. It was definitely a journey to get there. So, and he was a trooper, just trying to make it through. But great turnout, great event. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. There's Justin. This is Justin playing against Super Berry, by the way. This is the guy, the legend. And it was It was really good. It was good for Justin, but it was tough to watch. Yep, good stuff. Here's Reese playing some Smash, and then we went out to eat afterwards. So that's part of the fun of it. Is we go out and have some fun and be together. That's a big part of this. So a lot of people people will often discredit the value of team camaraderie, and this is a part of esports that's very important and needs to be continued to pump time, effort, and energy into, is just having fun as a group and getting out and doing stuff. Some of the comments the students made while we were there were like, man, I haven't been to Oklahoma City I haven't been in like years, or I've never been to the Oklahoma State Fair. Wow, I've never been around this many people that played Street Fighter. So that there were a lot of things like that. Like, this was a great opportunity to see the city. That there's more than just the playing of the game, and that's the other side of this that's very important to me, that I want to make sure that we continue to do. And yeah, this was great. It was a lot of fun. We had a really good time. I drove the bus, the huge bus thing, and navigated that dude. I know I earned the respect of the players that we took, because navigating the state fair like parking situation, I was more nervous, and I said this to the group. I was like, guys, I am more nervous about parking at the state fair than I am about getting there, about us competing, about it has been a nerve-wracking experience just getting emotionally and mentally prepared to park that thing. I should have taken pictures of like where we parked and how it was, because it was a mess. But navigating that parking lot earned the respect of the players, because there were multiple moments where I was within like a half an inch and just smoothly navigating in and out of all of these small cars with this big bus. So it was crazy. What's up, Maniac? Finally catching a coach's corner. Yeah, it was something else. It was some kind of something else, but it was a lot of fun. And we left ECU's parking lot at 10 in the morning, and then we got back at like, it was like 7 at night or 8 at night. It was 8:20. It was about 8:20 p.m. So we were gone all day. It was a full day, and that's why I took yesterday off. I was AWOL yesterday. I was taking a day off. Let's see. Pirate, you say it's good for this team, especially since their game isn't team based. Yes, really, 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 really good point. So the close combat games are not a team effort; they're an individual competition, which is to what she's saying. It's why it's more important to stress and focus on those team building activities, because, and it was a good, honestly, like I was coaching a lot while I was there, but it was things like, hey, you're in between matches and your partner is about to start. You should be over there just helping be there and to be supportive while you're waiting between matches. Handling defeat was another one. Like, how do you handle that? How do you like get beat really bad and then stand up and like turn it into something positive? So I was there to help do that, and make it not so bad, I guess. So there was a lot of coaching too, but you're right. You have to really focus on that camaraderie. And I have really come to start to, and I'll be very transparent. I've been researching boxing clubs and also martial arts clubs. So these close combat games are usually an individual competition. And so how do you build a team? And this is kind of one of the questions I've been really tackling for my own self and just my own research and what I've been trying to figure out. But how do you take an individual effort sport and then turn it into a team effort? And boxing clubs do this. They do a really good job of this. If you ever get to experience it, or if you ever get to go to like an actual karate where people are black belts and working together on their craft, like it's very different. It's not what you would expect, for sure. There's a lot more supportive elements in what they're doing. It's very interesting. Gymnastics is another one. I've seen a lot of this in gymnastics. Gymnastics is a very individualized sport, right? But you're on a team and you have to support your teammates. And that's part of that mentality of how do you be a good teammate. And so yeah, these events are very important for that, and I have been for sure researching ways to help improve that amongst the teams, but then also find some creative ways to yeah, help promote teamness. I can't imagine parking. Yeah. Oof. So this is a true story. I'm not joking. So I we have a whole fleet, okay, a whole set of cars that the university has access to that as a staff member I can request and use. Now, because we're part of athletics, we basically can have free reign of the cars, and it's, as long as we're going to an athletic event, the university will provide the transportation for us. So we have buses that you can borrow, and they hold up to 15 people. And you don't need a CDL. You don't need a commercial driver's license to be able to drive a 15-person bus. However, you do have to be certified and demonstrate that you can drive this bus. So they asked me, do you have any experience driving or handling large vehicles? Guys, I'm not even shitting you. I said, I've clocked about 100 hours of American Truck Simulator. They said, well, what is that? I said, oh, it's driving semi trucks. And they said, oh, that's good enough. That's perfect. You'll be fine. Like, so yeah, it's a funny story. I've clocked 100 hours of American Truck Simulator, and that's what qualifies me to drive a bus. But you know what? I will say, so you know what's crazy is there was a piece of news that American Truck Simulator released, and this was after this, okay? So this was like recent. I'm trying to find this. It's actually going to be on Steam now that I think about this. Okay, so here we go. Listen, Sift, good to see you, man. But listen. So this is no joke. Like, I'm not making this up. So Saturday I did that drive. Sunday, American Truck Simulator releases a statement. We're venturing into new territory, inspired by years of feedback from players who have told us that our games have helped them grasp the basics of truck driving. Many have used it to get a sense of handling a truck and trailer, learning how to maneuver and reverse. With this in mind, we thought we'd take it a step further and introduce a series of challenges specifically designed to help improve and expand upon these skills. So even American Truck Simulator, the game company, is recognizing that their platform is helping people learn. So I'm not joking when I say that, like, I have learned a lot about driving with a trailer and a big vehicle through this game. Like, it is very true. So you can't discredit it. And even still, like, it's kind of wild that this Sunday, the American Truck Simulator releases this statement about, you know, people are giving them feedback and they're going to be putting in actual driving. And what's even crazier is I did a little bit of digging after this press release and found out that there are actual trucking companies that use American Truck Simulator with a racing rig as their introduction and teachings of how they teach semi-driving at CDL school. So they're already starting that process now. Like, how amazing is that? Like, and when I go back, I don't know about, like, if you guys did this in high school or whatever, put it in the chat, but I was in a driver's ed class and I remember them having simulators, right? Like, they had driving simulators, but they were terrible. I mean, you were watching a video on a big screen and there was like 12 little tiny pods that had like a fake steering wheel and fake pedals, and you were not in control of the thing. Your goal was to match your movements to what was happening on the TV. And so it was measuring an accuracy for what you should be doing in the moment with that vehicle, not giving you feedback on what was actually happening. And now this game is way more advanced than that was ever. And I know, as a parent, I hate to say this, but my kids are gonna have to do this. They will learn how to drive a vehicle in a video game well before they ever step behind the steering wheel of an actual vehicle. I have a steering wheel set up at home. I have pedals. I have all of it for my own use. But you bet I'm going to have my kids do that first because, one, it's way safer. It's way more fun. And I remember my dad, he has grown a lot as a parent, but And it is teaching your child how to drive is probably the most nerve-wracking experience a parent will go through. And I remember him just in the passenger seat, just screaming at me like, "You can't do that!" Blah, like, oh, like, because he wasn't in control and trying to teach me how to do something, and it was a mess. He would not buy my first car. Just between all of us, like he refused because he wasn't like he knew I wasn't ready for it. He refused to buy me my first car. I paid cash for my first car because I wanted to drive, but he refused to be part of any of it, and like, for good reason. I was a racer. I was a street racer. I actually was out racing on the streets of Tulsa, Oklahoma, like drag racing and everything with people. It was not good. I hit a semi head on the highway, going 65 miles an hour with a passenger because I was trying to drift up an on ramp. Like, not good situation. And like, yeah, I totally know why he did not buy me a vehicle, but I did, and I definitely got in trouble. So I am a good driver now, but that was not always the case. So yeah, my kids definitely will be practicing in this. It's funny, driving a boat. So I drive a boat like a captain. Like I'm pretty good at it, but it's only because Grand Theft Auto 5 like has decent boat physics. And like if like you could learn how that works. Star Trekker is great. Yeah, I can go on about it. But yeah, I almost died like really bad. It was horrible. It was a bad situation. You live and learn. Yeah, for sure. You live and learn. I'm just catching up on chat. Just a second. Yeah, I am certified by American Truck Simulator for sure. I've leveled up enough to be able to handle fragile loads. That's why I took the Smash team. Bada ba chow. That was a joke. Let's see. Driver's Ed team. Let's see. Love it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've clocked. Yeah, I show up to my driver's ed class. I've clocked over 100 hours in Mario Kart. I'm good. I don't need this. I'm good without this. That's funny. Good stuff. Great stuff. Well, thanks for hanging out, y'all. So Saturday, yeah, Saturday was great. Had one person go 3 wins in the Street Fighter 6. Had one person go 2 wins into Smash, but everybody else got knocked out pretty fast. We got League of Legends tonight, so come back tonight at 7. I need to check to see if our streamers will be there. Yes, awesome. Confirmed with 1. Let me confirm. So we will have the same streamers, looks like, for tonight. Oh, yeah, for sure. The lore for me is bad. I say a joke. It's not a joke. I say it very jokingly, but it's not a joke. I lived a very different life than the one that I lead now in a lot of ways, and most of them not good. So yeah, and that's kind I guess there's this phrase in life. I don't know if you all are spiritual or faithful or whatever, but you are given burdens to be able to help others overcome them in a lot of ways in life. And so I went through a lot of really crappy things, but at the same time, I find myself really uniquely positioned to help like relate to people. And like when you like when students have really bad things going on and they come talk to you about it, it's usually like very refreshing for them. It's very eye-opening, and they usually come back. Like it's usually one of those things where people are a little nervous or hesitant. I'm in a level of authority. Like I get that. Like I totally get it. I try my best to make myself as approachable as possible. Honestly, just between us, like I get negative feedback about my dress. Like I'm in a t-shirt and jeans today, but it is because yes, I'm a director. Yes, I'm leading this program, but at the same time, I want to be relatable and I want to be like you guys. I don't want to be so far detached from your realities that I'm like this foreign object in the situation. Like I don't and that's exactly what I say to them. Like I don't want to be a foreign object amongst my teams. Like I want to be with them. In order to do that, I have to be like them. Like that's part of it. So I usually get away with it when I explain it that way, but it is a thing. Like it really is. Like I want to relate because I know there's already barriers, and so my goal is to reduce as many of those barriers as possible. And if that's dressing more casually, if it's just being there with people, like that's what I'll do. I'll do whatever it takes. But usually what happens is once someone comes to me and asks or talks about something that's bothering them, it usually it's not the last time. It's always the first, and it becomes the ongoing thing, and it's fine. Like I'm all for that. Relatability is one of my key personality traits. Is I like to relate, and sometimes I try my best not to over relate, But yeah, that's so yeah. I think the things that you go through, the burdens, the issues, they have one of two things. They're either a learning opportunity or they're like a trauma crisis type thing. And most trauma and most major issues in your life can quickly become learning opportunities and be things that you grow from, not let damage you. And so I think that's the mentality I've taken in my life. And I often think of the apostles, and they were not chosen because they were great people. They were chosen because they had been through things that made them effective. And that's the strategy I use. You go through things and they can make you effective, and that's what you should look at it with. Or you can look at it in the opposite and say, "Oh my God, all these bad things happen," and you know, yeah. So there you go. I don't know why it turned to that, but there you go. You get some Cody lore today. I guess I'll share some more stories about my past if you guys want to know more. There you go. If you want to see my pretty face, you'll have to watch the league team. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and yeah, feedback for league stream. Y'all's faces need to be on there. We'll get it sorted out tonight. Great. So yeah, tonight we got League being cast tonight. We also have Street Fighter 6 going on tonight. So we're gonna do our best. Elias will be here. We have a second Twitch channel just for this reason, because there's going to be multiple instances where we have a few different things going on at the same time. So that's going to happen a lot, like as we go forward. So we will have multiple Twitch channels just by design. So we will post like this Twitch channel is going to be the primary Twitch channel where everything that is the focus will be, and then we have a second channel as well. And the second channel is going to be mainly to help record, and then the goal will be to take the stuff off of the second channel and upload it to the Twitch stream. So that's something that we'll do over time. But yeah, we will have two. So tonight we have League and Street Fighter, so we'll do our best to tag those and let you know how things are going, and let you know how they're doing. You know, that's the other part, is we're going to get better about game day, end of game announcements and that kind of thing. So do you still need stream ideas? Tell me more. Like today, like what we're gonna play. We're gonna play Dark and Darker today, unless you wanted to play Overwatch or something else. You're supposed to still come play with me, Pirate. Like, you're supposed to come up here and play and hang out. Although we did stream already once, but just to play. No, I actually, so I've been playing a lot of Dungeonborn, and Dark and Darker, I've been kind of dogging on a little bit. And so anytime I'm like I have this weird thing. Like if I go on a tangent and I say something negative about something a few times, I will make myself try it again just to make sure that my opinion is still the same. You know, like that's kind of the thing. Let's do it. Yeah, that sounds perfect. Yeah, Sift, let's do it. Sift, actually, a great one for you would be teaching about the aim training. Like that would be really good if you want to do that. Maybe we do that Thursday, if you want to. That'd be really fun. Like have you on and we talk about aim training and what you do for practice and stuff. That would be actually really valuable. So we should do that Thursday if you can. Thursday from 2 to 4. But yeah, no, I do this weird thing. Like if I say something negative about something multiple times, I will then go try it again just to make sure. So like if it's a food item and I say, oh, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. Spaghetti is one. I hate spaghetti. I cannot stand it. But about every 6 months or every month, and like actually my wife's been making spaghetti a lot lately. So yeah, I don't like spaghetti at all. But I'll make sure to try it every once in a while, just to try it, you know. But yeah, I don't like spaghetti. More lore reasons why that is. If you have a parent, I'll just put it this way. If you have a parent who struggles to take care of their children, they often will make the same meal over and over again or be very repetitive in what they do because they just don't have the energy or effort. So I ate way too much spaghetti as a kid, and I cannot eat it. I can't. It makes me sick. Makes me sick. Yeah, for sure. So check with old Cap in America. Old Cap in America. Yeah. And that might be why. Maybe it's like I want it to be different. Yeah, that's definitely it. There you go. There's my own personal psychology session right there. I want things to be different. I don't like it when things are the same. I really don't. When things are the same, it means they're stale, it means they're dying. If it's changing and evolving and adapting, that's good. And so yeah, I definitely that's definitely the reason. I want it to be different. And I want, especially things that bother me or things that I don't like, I want them to be better. I don't want them to be the same because that's not good. You know, if something bothers me, I don't want it to stay the way that it is. I want it to get better. That's probably why, and I've said this on here before, like if I have a conversation with somebody and it doesn't go well, I will think about it for days. But it's because I am ruminating on that. I want it to go better and it didn't. And so here's all of the little things that I did that could have made it go better. And that becomes my focus. And I just get obsessed with that. And it's very unhealthy, incredibly unhealthy. So don't do that. It's called ruminating on a problem, like just sitting there and brooding on it and like thinking about it over and over again. That's not good. That is bad. That is bad news bears. Okay. Oh my goodness. This is great news. This is great news. Hot off the press, McDonald's Gaming has come through, y'all. So there's been some issues. With one of our sponsors. Just trying to get stuff to us. Like we have to have stuff to be able to do the things that our sponsors want us to do. And I just literally just read an email that said we've been approved. You got the green light to go ahead and proceed, which means that the stuff is coming, which is awesome. It's awesome, awesome, awesome news. So we're steaming ahead. We're working on speaking of sponsors, so Bravado Wireless definitely came through really well this semester. Was a huge help, and we're currently in the process of designing the new jersey. So that my goal is to have it done by like early October, so that way we can order them and have them in. So that's still the plan, but it's very much in the design phase right now of where we're at and what we want to change. And then yeah, McDonald's just came through, so that means we're rocking and rolling on them, which is great to hear. So back to Dark and Darker. So yeah, I've been dogging on Dark and Darker a lot, like just giving it a bunch of crap, you know? And I decided, again, like I do this thing where I'm just like, okay, let's just try it again. Just give it a shot, see what's happened. And I'll be honest with you, I was pleasantly surprised at how much changes they've made to it to make it more enjoyable. And I was actually also equally surprised at seeing how much progress they had made. Because I said that too from the beginning, that I was going to follow, the progress of these two games and kind of see, where they went and how they did. So I was pleasantly surprised at how much changes that Dark and Darker had made in a good way. And then I was pleasantly disappointed in Dungeonborn for the same kind of thing of how little changes that they had made, comparatively speaking, between the two games. So yeah, we're going to play a little bit of Dark and Darker today, which is what I've been playing quite a bit at home. And that's the other thing. If I'm playing a game like regularly, I'm stuck on it. It's like, it's good. So yeah, I've been playing Dark and Darker like every day. It's been great. I'm going to need to switch over to this screen just so you can see. All right. Oh yeah, they just released an update today. In fact, some balance changes. Yep, good stuff. Yep, lots of good stuff. Anybody else playing Dark and Darker in the chat? Anybody else try this out? If not, give it a shot. It's free, so it's free to play. You get one character slot. When you first start the game, you get one character slot for free. It's not a huge deal, especially if you're like only interested in playing one class. It's fine, but you might want to play other classes. So if you have the free account, you can delete your character and start over. And that way you can try. So I did that. When I first got it, I was just trying classes out, blah, 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 playing it for a day, deleting it, playing it for a day, deleting it, just like trying them all out. But then I found out like I really enjoy a lot of them. So it's not like one class is. But yeah, so Sif, my favorite, the most funny, which I always go for the troll. I'm a big troll. I am like one of the biggest trolls you will ever meet in your life. I promise you. I say a lot of gnarly things that are just because I'm trolling. The Druid. Oh, I wonder if their servers are down because they're patching. Man, would that be horrible right now? We'll try it one more time. They just patched like today. It doesn't say. I'm just checking. Number one suggestion, add a samurai class. That's funny. Yeah. Try it again, see what happens. Yeah, I think my favorite class to play, just because it's funny, is the druid. The druid gets to shapeshift into different animals, and the animals it gets to shapeshift into is like one's a rat, one's a chicken, there's like a cougar and a bear. And they're just really just crazy. And so like the mouse, the rat, at first you're like, that sounds terrible. It makes you really small, but it reduces your health to 90%. So like you have 10% of the health that you normally have. And you're really small, but you run really fast. And if you do successfully bite somebody, they get poisoned. But the point of the rat is not to attack. Yeah, see, I don't know if I guess I'll restart Steam. Let's see if that does it. But the point of the rat is not always to attack, it's to get away. It's to run. And so like the game has intentionally built, this is again why I think it's very creative. The game has intentionally built little hidey holes and like literally like tunnels inside the walls and stuff. And like Sift is saying in the chat, like hiding behind boxes and crates, and like there are mesh boxes that you can actually jump inside of and then they can't get you. So there's just the chicken, when you peck the ground, you actually heal. So the chicken is useful for healing and flying. The chicken can fly, so you can like fly around the map. The cougar can like pounce and run really fast. So they all have their advantages. The bear is of course huge and does a ton of damage, but like they all have their advantages. And so the fun part is tricking people and like diving in and around them with the different animals. I'm trying it for the 5th time to see if it works. I guess I need to check the down detector. Is dark and darker down? Nope. Down detector. I don't know. I don't know. I guess let me look it up. See what the deal is. Let's see. Looks like people are not really sure. Weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this. That's weird. Well, my backup game was going to be Street Fighter. But they said go ahead and try to do this first before we do it. It's always great. You know, there's been some interesting, so something happened to me very interesting. I guess I'll talk about while we're waiting. Very beloved game of mine. I've found one of the things I often talk about is the level design, and level design being like really important to me in video games, and like the creativity and artistic energy that it takes to make a really creative level. Dark Souls is always the one that people bring up. And I think it's just because it is just a great example. It's not the only one. It's just a great example of level design with the original Dark Souls. And it really brought people's attention to the importance of being good and creative with designing levels. Like it really definitely helped with that. So, but I realized that it was not Dark Souls that got me really into level design. It was a game before that called The Beginner's Guide. And fantastic. I mean, I'll put it in the chat. And here's the reason I'm bringing it up. The Beginner's Guide. You cannot play this game anymore. You can, but you have to like basically modify your computer to get it to run. The reason why is it was developed a while ago. And when the development finished, it was only the maximum cores that a CPU had at the time was 8 cores, which is great. It looks like a lot of people are having issues connecting to Dark and Darker right now. It says servers always go down. It should be up within 8 minutes. Check the Discord. That's what they're saying. Should be done close in 7 minutes. So we'll just give it a few minutes. The Beginner's Guide. It was, when it was designed, it was only designed to be able to play on a computer that ran up to 8 cores. So what happens if you have a computer that now has more than 8 cores, which by the way, most all of ours do. They're all up to 12, 16 cores or whatever. So if you have that, the game will not play. It will not run. Won't even launch. So you have to modify your BIOS to make it only run 8 cores, which I'm sure if you know anything about computers, that's just not a good idea. You just shouldn't do that. But you can do it to bypass that. So this game is currently unplayable. There is a very large, and I'm saying large because it's gaining a lot of momentum right now in the esports and in the gaming sector, about I paid for something and now I can no longer use that thing. And with video games, this is the Beginner's Guide is a example. Sometimes it's a hardware limitation that causes something to no longer be usable. Not always the case though. Some of the games are server related, that the company will just abandon the servers. The game will still work, but the servers, because there's no place to play the game, it's no longer functional. So there's a big argument right now about it's kind of an anti-consumer argument that these games and the game developers are anti-consumer because the game developer publisher owns the rights to basically make a game unplayable. And that's not fair to the people who purchase them. So the Beginner's Guide is a great example of that. The Beginner's Guide taught me about level design. It really teaches you and tells you about looking at what is put into a game and it being valuable because someone took the time to put it there, which means it was put there for a reason. And so then you can kind of extrapolate and think about the reasons behind these things. This is not a far-fetched idea. We do this with like every entertainment source that we do. Movies, a great example of a movie that did this was Inception. Hopefully everyone has seen Inception. If you have not, go watch it. It's a fantastic movie. But there's a lot of things in Inception that they put in the foreground and background. It's not direct like, ooh, look at there's an object. Ooh, look over here. It's like things in the background that are very subtle, changes in like a wall texture that are very, very subtle that add to this kind of oddness for that movie. So that's a great one. Shutter Island is another one. Has a lot of imagery, and these are ones that are just coming off the top of my head. Imagery that's very visceral and visual, but it's the level. It's not the main character. It's not the the NPCs. It's the level design and how they walk through a certain room. Like Inglourious Bastards is another amazing one for imagery and using the world to tell the story, not so much the characters or certain little subtle things the characters do that are important. On the way home from the Skyline tournament, the players were talking about Metal Gear Solid a lot, which is a wild game series. The story is nonsense most of the time, but it's told in a very creative way, and they do a lot of subtle nods and things in the story and in the environment. The story they were telling was there's a scene in Metal Gear Solid, the very first one. It's not a very appropriate scene, but you're crawling through a vent. Now, if you've played video games today or you're actively playing games today, it's you probably have crawled through a vent in some game, just like crawling through some ductwork or something. Well, this for some reason Metal Gear Solid decided to use that as a storytelling mechanism. And so you'd be crawling through a vent and then look through the grate and there'll be some dialogue or something happening in the other room that you're observing. Or there'll be like a person knocked out unconscious on the ground. Like they used that as part of the storytelling to add to it. And so now if you play video games, for the most part, if you're crawling through a vent, they're going to use that as an element of the story, and they're going to like show you things to the vent. You're going to see another room, like all of that. But that came from somewhere. That didn't just magically appear. So that's another example of level design and storytelling. The beginner's guide, though, it really what you should do if you need a movie to watch, honestly, if you just want to watch a movie, go find a playthrough of the beginner's guide where it's like there's nobody talking or anything. You just go on YouTube and you can find one. But it is a really, really cool story. And it really is the story is all about this guy's friend is a game developer, and he starts to really fall in love. The guy starts to really fall in love with the work that this person's doing. And he's like reading into, and so the whole thing is about him reading into the work that this guy's doing. And it's really interesting to see from that perspective how you could really extrapolate the meaning behind a game from the environment. And it really changed my mind. I also remember that at the same time as the beginner's guide was also Skyrim, which also did a phenomenal job of storytelling through the environment. And the level design in Skyrim is incredible. Here's a simple example of level design in Skyrim and why it's important. Before Skyrim, before what I call intelligent level design, if you were going into a dungeon, you would run from the beginning all the way to the end of the dungeon. There would be some boss. You would defeat the boss, and then you'd have to run backwards through the dungeon to get back to the entrance, which that was commonplace. Like, you play any game and like that's still a common tactic. You run all the way through, do the thing, and then run all the way back. Nowadays, you're starting to see more intelligent level design where they will do a bridge. They will have the main pathway, the main floor, and then they'll have a bridge to get you back to the entrance faster or through a different channel. That's a bridge in a level design. That's just what that is. Very interesting. Now, I had seen it a couple of times, but I didn't see it as effectively utilized until The Elder Scrolls Skyrim, especially with how elaborate. If you've played The Elder Scrolls Skyrim, you know that there are, and maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll play that sometime and just show you some examples. I don't know. But that's a great example of really intelligent level design, because the cave systems in that game, you'll be working through a dungeon for an hour and then finish this dungeon, defeat the boss, and then they have this very creative bridge to get you back to the entrance. Like, very intelligent level design. And you see it more and more now because it's kind of like, oh, duh. But it wasn't always that way. It wasn't always that type of intelligent design that someone took time to focus on. I guess I'm refreshing to see if our game is, how much during maintenance. Tree, wow, somebody said, how long is it going to be? And first response, going to be about tree fitty. That's going to be about tree fitty. I'm going to try it and see what happens. If not, I'm moving on. I think I played this morning too. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I played at least one or two this morning. At least. Return to Tarkov. If anybody returned to Tarkov players, if you are, I have another game for you that's a little, I think a little better. It's thinking about it. I'm trying to launch it right now. We'll see if it does anything. It's when it tries to connect to the servers. My wife is confirming that I did play Darker this morning. So that means they must have patched this game just like earlier. So the other game, I'll put it in chat. Vigor is the other game. Highly recommend it. It's really good. It's if you had to take Return to Tarkov and ask yourself an important question, is the game being hyper realistic too much? Or is it not? Because in Return to Tarkov, I mean, it's if you get shot in the head, you're going to die. It doesn't matter what caliber bullet it is, doesn't matter, how far away they are most of the time, that you're going to die. Whereas you look at a game like Overwatch, where you got to shoot somebody 50 times in the head before they die sometimes, depending on the character, depending on how much health there is. So Return to Tarkov is hailed for how brutal the game is. Like it's super brutal. They even put a disclaimer. So Return to Tarkov, they put a disclaimer in it. And the disclaimer says, if you press play and for any reason you do not connect to your match, you still lose. So, for instance, if I queue up with all of my gear and my internet drops, I lose and I lose all my stuff. If I queue up and then the Return to Tarkov servers go poop, then I still lose. Like they clearly say, it doesn't matter the reason, you're going to lose your stuff. So only queue if you're ready to lose your things. That's their disclaimer. So it is a very brutal game and very difficult. So if you were to ask yourself, okay, what's like a middle ground somewhere in between that level of brutal and more, I guess, not enjoyable. I don't know what the word you'd say for that. It would be Vigor, would be somewhere in that sphere. It's clearly definitely taken some things from Return to Tarkov, but also blended them in their own unique way. So I don't even like to compare them all that much, other than that they are both very intensive shooters. They're both extraction shooters, so you're trying to get out of a situation, trying to like escape from a place. You're looting things and taking things in and out. Vigor, if you've played, there's a game that came out recently. My sister just asked me if I was playing it. I told her no. Anyways, you had a house, like a main area you went back to as like your home base, and you upgraded your base and did things to it. That's Vigor has that as well. So it's kind of and we're getting to this, just a little complaint, but we're getting to this phase now where it's like everything appears to be just a conglomeration of everything else. So we're in a weird place. George Lucas said it really well. He said, there is no new creativity in Hollywood. There is nothing new that is coming out or being done. Everything is a retelling of a story that has been told 10 times over again with different makeup, different dresses, but it's the same thing, which is a very negative way to look at it. But it's kind of true. Like you get to a certain point and like, in my own heart, that's why I believe that there's so much like just wild things happening. And I say wild as in just like you're just like shocked, like what the whole P Diddy thing. I don't want to bring too much politics into this, but that's a great example of just like a what the crap. People are just shocked, but that's kind of, I guess, if you have to be entertained, it's just going to get more intensive. They talk about that with addiction. Addiction generally you grasp for more and more. It's not a less and less thing. It's yeah. And the media industry is no different. And I think it was my wife. She was shocked. She's like, how did this happen? I'm like, look, you take a bunch of egocentric people who only care about themselves, who are total narcissists, and you give them a free reign to get away with whatever they want to get away with and whatever they do. This is exactly what happens. It is the nightmare scenario, but it's exactly what will continue to happen and has been. And let's be very clear, this has been happening. This is not new. It's not like it just magically happened once. No, this is like the entertainment industry has been riddled with issues for a long time. Yeah, I'm good with all the, I guess they're making me do the rething. Yeah, so this is welcome to Vigor. I guess I'll just immediately segue out of, I'm going to try to, okay, see if that's any better. I do like that there is a shooting range here. I just got to get my video stuff set up. Just take it just a second. Okay, that's a little better. It's a little bit better. Yeah, I like, there's a shooting range in this game, which is nice, because, like, Return of Tarkov is a little tough, because you don't really get a chance to just, like, try things out. This one also has a built-in aim trainer, so we were talking just a minute ago about Sift coming on here and doing aim training for us, which is an amazing idea, and we should definitely do that Thursday at 2 o'clock. And as soon as you say yes, I will publish that, like, because that people will... I pretty much guarantee people will be there for that. I don't know if you guys see that way the heck up there, but there's a little, like, targets, like, way up there. Okay. So what's the objective here? The objective here is we're not going to die. That's our objective. Objective not to die. Yeah, so that's a good point. Media recycling lots of things from Shakespeare and the Greek. Yes, very much so. Very much so. So welcome to Vigor. Vigor is a very complicated but difficult shooting game. There's no classes in this one. There is just the gear that you bring. So there's really not like different peoples. And this is, again, this is one that, like, you could have the best gear in the galaxy and, like, just get one shot if you're not careful. So it's all about being careful. Return to Tarkov, the noise element is way more significant than in this game. So this game, like, noise is important. And you'll see me, like, stop suddenly and, like, look around, but it's not as significant. The variety of maps in this is actually really good, too. I don't like this spot. So I have to try to get out of here. So I'm going to try to just... I'm going to die. I'm sorry. I'm going to die, y'all. I'm going to do my bestest. The reason I say that is, like, I'm right in the middle of everything. And when you're in the middle of everything, you generally get picked off pretty fast. Oh, good. Well, that's good to know. See, I'm looting, just finding stuff. This is actually really good loot, too. Oh, that sucks. So, because this game is brutal, right? Like, if I die, I lose everything that I have on me. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I just lose it all. And so weapons become incredibly valuable because if you lose them, then you have to make new ones. And so I'm finding a lot of good components. Sorry. Like I said, you're going to hear me just suddenly stop talking just because I hear something. But yeah, you have to remake your weapons, and so it's a little difficult. But one of the things immediately, this is a third-person game. So it's peeking. People complain about peeking a lot. Listen, you can complain about game mechanics all you want, but the developers did it for a reason because that's what they wanted. And so you can have two things. You can complain about it. And I see a lot of people complaining in this game, oh, it's third person. You can peek around corners. Okay, then use that to your advantage and quit complaining about it. Oof. Oh. Here's some shooting over this direction. The phone thing, I'm not answering that. It's basically initiates a duel with somebody else. I am not going to do that right now. Just marking where I need to be working my way towards. I don't... Oh, yeah, my position is temporary. I'm revealed, basically. Which means I need to move. Firefights in this game become very difficult. You take a lot of damage. I thought that shooting came from this direction. mean, I can hear them shooting across the lake. Unless I have my headphones on backwards, which has happened before. Yep, I do. I need to check that, I guess, next time I try to play a video game. So that means it's probably coming more from this direction. Because that should be the edge of the map. Yeah, there shouldn't be anybody over there. That's what I get. Put my headphones on wrong. That's okay. I was confused. I was like, there shouldn't be anybody over there. Why do I hear shooting? Yeah, you don't want to get the drop on you on this one. I do actually like the shooting mechanics in this game, though. I will give it that. I do. Tarkov also has great shooting mechanics. I kind of want to escape just because I got pretty good stuff. What I got that I was trying to say was I got a lot of weapon parts, which are really important. I think that's a body right there in the grass. Yeah, so it was showing 7 other people or whatever. Those other people are my enemies, basically. And we're just dropped on this giant map. Yep. That's a dead body, and that person's shooting up ahead. I don't see them, though. I do not see anybody. But if that person killed somebody... If you hear breathing, it's not me, I promise. Oh, yep, there they are. See them way up there? Way the heck up there. Okay, I think I am going to run that way. Yeah, I don't want to be involved in that fight. Yeah, so the game finds up to, I think I've played it some up to 12, depending on the map. I really think it just depends on the map. Because some maps I've been in with 12 people, and this one only loaded with 7. So yeah, I don't know if it just depends on how many people are online or what the deal is, but yeah, totally depends. Things like being in the open, not good. Don't want to be in the open. Use trees. One of the concepts we talk a lot about in Overwatch, really in any game where you got to be in a certain place, positioning becomes very important. And positioning is where you are in relative direction to the map and the people around you. So being in a forest is an advantageous position just simply because the trees are good cover. I heard something. I need to wait. There are hidden collectibles. That's the other thing. There are hidden collectibles around this map. And they make little audible clues. I thought I heard one. I guess not. My inventory is full, so I'm going to work my way towards the exit. Yep. Use cover. So in Overwatch, we talk a lot about like the positioning as it relates to that firefight. Overwatch turns into a situation where you kind of have like corridors, and you'll see teams take up positions around certain choke points and areas, and then your positioning really becomes where you are in that scope. Are you out in the open? Are you hiding behind something? Do you have cover around you? Are you able to break line of sight very quickly?
Collecting the airdrop is rewarding, but it's also challenging to escape the other Outlanders.
Yeah. So it's this airdrop space. Like it's gonna drop a bundle of really good. And that's like another. I have not really done a whole lot of like engaging with some of these high level loot places. I usually just go on the outskirts and then move around, get some good stuff, and get out. But there's a whole like I've seen people online that will like camp. Like people will sit here by exits and just kill people as they come to the exits, which I think that's kind of lame, but whatever. You got to live. You got to feed your family somehow, I guess, right? And we're out. It was a good round. Good stuff. We made it. We made it safely. So you get stuff, you get loot, you get experience, you get back to your shelter, and then you upgrade some stuff. That's the way it goes. So I believe the Overwatch team today has a skirmish. Actually, against the junior varsity team has a skirmish against the Bing High School. So yes, pirate. Yes, Call of Duty Dungeonborn, basically. But yeah, so I guess, and this is great. Like, if I cannot be involved in something like that, great. Like, it's even better. But we'll go ahead and queue back up for another one. Actually, yeah, did I get all my stuff? Hang on, I gotta get rid of some things. Hang on, F1 to cancel. Yeah, I don't like carrying around a bunch of stuff like this, like booby traps and things. I usually just carry enough ammo and medical stuff to make it through the round. I try not to carry a bunch of stuff with me. But yeah, so Bing High School should be here sometime around 4, and they're going to skirmish our Overwatch JV team. So our junior varsity team will be playing against Bing High School's team, which is great. I have no idea how it's going to go. They tell me they're about the same skill level, so we'll see. But yeah, they'll be up here about 4 o'clock, and I didn't have anything to do with this planning. Like this is all on Reese, who is the captain of the JV team, which is great, and Josh Carlin, who is Bing High School's coach. So which is awesome. Like, and that's where Reese came from. Reese and Lucas, at least 2 of them, are from Bing. So they're students that came from Bing High School, and will be here. So we'll have them about 4. I will offer to stream that for them, which means that what I'll do is I'll cut the coach's corner at some point, and I'll ask them like, hey, do y'all want me to stream this or not? And I'll cut the coach's corner and then restart the stream back up with them if they want. I'll just offer it. So I don't know. So I will post it in our Discord if we're going to. I didn't really publicize it a whole lot just because it's just a skirmish and it's Bing High School. So I don't want to overstep or make them nervous or anything, but I will offer that just in case they want to. If they want to. Okay, so we started buy and exit. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot in the way of stuff. All right, well, I guess we're going to go fight some people because we're going to have to run through. We're going to go all the way through, so we're going to just work our way towards that other side. That's what we're going to do. And just see what happens. Probably going to get wrecked. Yeah, so again, positioning, right? On the road, in the forest. I'm in the forest, behind trees. So the next time you're playing a shooting game, I remember when I was a kid, so I was probably 6 or 7. I remember saying this, and it didn't make sense to anybody in my life because no one in my life was playing first person shooter games like I was. But I said, if you have your back to a wall, that improves your chance of survival by 25%. And people around me were like, what are you talking about? Like, that doesn't make... But if you have your back against the wall, that eliminates one area that you could be attacked from. Improves your chance of survival. So I would constantly, and you'll see people talk about this in Call of Duty. You brought up Call of Duty and watched a second ago, but if you treat it like a maze and constantly keep, and you'll see me do this a lot, like I'll keep something on, I'll try to trying to think of the best way to put this. I will put some object against my character's body to keep that a constant thing at all times. And so that's one part of positioning, is realizing that you have to have cover, and cover is very important. So even when I'm walking through this forest, like I'm not even really thinking about it, but I'll hug the tree and then I'll move from tree to tree, just kind of snaking my way through. And I get nervous if there's like nothing like that. Like I'm looking around because there was a big gap in time between cover. So I'll use a gap in time like that to do a quick scan to make sure I'm not going to get snuck up on. Or like this, I've got something here that's blocking more areas, so I can then use it to look around and just make sure I'm not getting snuck up on. But cover, very important. Keeping something against your character's body. That was one of the very early strategies I used with shooting games. It's very effective. So in Call of Duty, you'll hear people talk a lot about that. They'll say, oh, follow the wall. Follow the wall of the map is what they'll say. Or things like, you know, flank on the map going in one direction. So you pick a direction. I don't like this at all. Crossing a middle road. Yeah, they'll say like, oh, pick the right. So this door was open when I got here, which means someone may be here. Yep, someone's in the house. Someone's in the house. Ring, 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 phone call. It's weird. It's like all the doors are open, but none of the stuff is... Oh, this is the safe. This is where the safe is. Okay, I gotta get the crap out of here. I gotta loot this crap and get out of here. Yeah, I gotta get. See, so like I bet someone would camp right there. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Oh no. What am I doing that for? Oh shoot. I don't know what that does, y'all. The time saved was unlocked. Okay. What does that mean? Does that mean I go here? Oh my god. That had a lot of stuff. I need to get out of here. This is bad. This is not good. Oh no, there's the person too. Oh, they're coming right for me. Oh shoot. Yeah, so what that does is it initiates a duel. So I'm basically dueling somebody now. So I'm trying to get high ground and just hope to God that I kill them. They're coming right for me. I hit him once. I got him. Jiminy Christmas. Stressful! Oh my gosh. Okay, I just took all his crap. Okay, cool. Wait, was that the weapon I wanted he had? Yeah, okay. Yeah, really cool. I guess I survived that encounter and I'm not dead. It's always a good sign. Wait, what? I can booby trap a container? Yeah, you can turn that on and off. Like you can use that if you want to. Yeah, you don't have to. The aim down sights thing, I guess I can work my way back and escape now that I've killed that dude. That's what I'll do. I need to heal. That's what I need to do. So yeah, I guess I just initiated a duel and then won it. That's great. I'm glad that that happened. I feel bad for that guy. And now I'm slowly regenerating my health. Just hope I don't encounter anybody else until I'm ready for it. It's good stuff. I'm glad that I did that, I guess. He had a cache key. There it is. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to work on getting out of here. That was enough. That was enough damage. Yeah, you can either use the guns in third person or first person mode. You just have to, there's just a button toggle that you use to toggle between the two. I definitely use the first person from like everything. I just like in that instance, it's way more accurate. So it's like a no contest for me on which one to use. No contest. Yeah, Call of Duty for sure. I definitely remember applying that strategy. So I'm using the strategy right now, right? Like I have this giant rock wall on my left, so it makes me much more effective and much more. I guess it increases my rate of survival substantially because now I can see or know that my area around me is at least protected in some capacity.
The plane with the airdrop is about to reach your area.
Next time we'll go for the airdrop.
Fight with other Outlanders.
Well, you saw me get into a tuffle. Into a tussle. My wife was asking me like the red hat, like I really don't know where I got the hat from or how I got it, but I got a free hat, so I'm wearing it. And she said, well, isn't that going to make you easier to see? I said, yeah, probably. But it honestly doesn't really matter all that much. Okay, there you go. Lets me jump around and enjoy the fire easier. Yeah, I guess I have a very reductionist method in shooting. I try to reduce the ways that they could shoot me as much as possible, or the directions they could shoot me from as much as possible. And in that increases my chance of survival. Now, you can increase your chance of survival by getting really good at aiming. You know, that is another part of it too. My wife talks about that a lot. She's like, wow, you have really good aim when you do this thing. But not when you, like, there are certain things you just have to learn. But cover is a very important part of shooting games. Incredibly important. Incredibly important. And this game has that's one other thing people complained about. Oh, there's a battle pass, and of course, this is a free game. It's free to play. Pick it up and try it out. It's not like it's gonna cost you anything to give it a shot. That was not a pun, but it worked out. Yeah, just give it a try. It's fun. It's very difficult. I'm gonna do another of the game modes just to show you, but there's other game modes. If you don't, because there's honestly a large group of people that love the combat in this game, but don't like the whole looting and that whole business. I'm just gonna put away some of my stuff. Yeah, I've really only been going in with this stuff, disinfectant and some bandages. Yeah, but there's another game mode. It's elimination. Oh yeah, shootout. We'll do shootout. So shootout assigns us It assigns that everybody gets a random weapon when they spawn. I think every game's a little different when it comes to what cover is, how much cover you need. But in a game like this, that it's very realistic in the damage you want to use. Call of Duty is another one. The damage in Call of Duty is really low. You'll take a couple of shots before you die. So your reaction, I guess, for me, my decision comes on how much time am I going to have to react? If my reaction time window is less than a second, cover is way more important than accuracy at times. If I have time to like react, like Overwatch is a good one. You generally have time to react in Overwatch. Like it's pretty rare that you're in a situation where you cannot react at all. Like you don't have any movement or say. League of Legends, you can find yourself in a situation where there's just nothing you can do about it. Street Fighter 6 is another one. There is a moment when you're locked in a combo and you just got to sit there. Like there's nothing you can do. This game, reaction time incredibly low. Like, and it's happened. I was just running along, poof, one shot dead. Round over. So yeah, it's just totally depends on the game as to how much you should. The game determines how much you should prioritize cover over other things. So this game mode is it's a shootout. So I like this game mode because everyone gets rewarded for it. It's just how much are you going to get? And so if you don't like the whole going and scavenging thing, blah, blah, blah. By the way, you can do this with other people. You can play this as a team. If you don't like that, they have this this in here because it's a shootout. So everybody starts with different gear randomly. You get points based on how many people you kill. So it doesn't encourage you to hide. It encourages you to run around and shoot. So it's actually really good practice too. You find loot around. Come on, take it. I want to take this gun. Why can I not? I don't know what's going on with that. It like disappeared. Oh, that was weird. Here comes somebody. Oh, yeah. You see, like, I did so much damage to him and he just one-shots me. Hey. Yeah, it's tough. But this is what if you're like thinking about trying to play this first, it gets you to understand the lethality. Yeah, it definitely gets you to understand the lethality. Things are lethal. Looks like some of the Bing high school people are showing up. I've even had instances in this where I'm like, I find a good spot and then get rushed because people get they get so mad. Just picked up a good rifle. Carrot has scored 3 kills in a row. Dang, this guy is on it. Ah, I should have killed him. That was on me. That should have been an easy kill for me. What do I have now? PPSH? A dang SMG? Oh, God. I somehow killed that person. Definitely not. Definitely not. But yeah, this makes it a little bit more like just a casual. This feels more like just like a Call of Duty or regular shooting game. I don't know about that scope. There's 2. Ow, 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 ow. Dead. Alright, I'm almost out of ammo, though. I need some ammo. Oh gosh, where's his body? I got a goon. I got the replacement rifle. Where are all the peoples? I would like to shoot them. Uh, 3 hits right to the chest, and he's still good and just able to turn around and bloop bloop. Oh, good. I spawned with a pistol. Good. Oh! Kablooey. Dang, he had a bunch of stuff. Get out of there. Oh, I see why people are doing so good with this gun. Boy. Shoot. Ouch. Yeah, that was bad. Oof, there was someone right behind me too. I think this is one of my favorite guns. I like the AK. This is bad. Why am I going in here? I don't know. This pipe seems like a bad idea. Nothing happening yet. This gun's not super long range, so I need to... Oh yeah, that sounds perfect. Exactly what I was looking for. What? Bombs? What? Who's got bombs? Why do they have bombs? There'll be a point soon where it stops letting people respawn. Ah, dang. That was bad. There we go. Okay. I was gonna say I wanted to... Yeah, there'll be a point soon where we stop getting the opportunity to respawn. Happens pretty quick. There's a fruit fly flying around. Drosophila. I want bombs. How can I get bombs? Definitely have several of the Bing High School students arriving, which is great. It's awesome. Uh-oh. Oh. I heard somebody. Oh my goodness, that was so fast timing. What? I didn't get the kill? Yeah, that person did really good. Overwatch. I'm excited. That's going to be fun. I don't know how they're going to do. Somebody was telling me, won't it be embarrassing if they beat your team? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it should go to whoever plays the best. It doesn't really matter who it is. I am building my base. Okay, yeah, sweet. Yeah, I hope so too. As soon as I see Coach Josh get here, I will stop him and ask him and see what if he's all right with that. Sweet. Retrieve 100 resources. I got time for one more. We'll do one more and then we'll call it. And then Sift, hit me up if he's still on. I don't know if he's still on here or not, but we'll get that. I'll try to get that organized where he does because there's a couple actually. Now that I've thinking about it, there's a few different aim trainings you can use. One of them is called Kovacs, which is on Steam. The other one is called Aim Labs. Both are on Steam. I believe they're both free. I think. I'm not sure on Kovacs. I know Aim Labs is free, and highly recommend that. They have it's kind of like a generic shooting game, but you can edit the settings of how things work to make it fit. So they'll have like an Overwatch profile where on Overwatch it'll feel more like you're shooting in an Overwatch, if that makes sense. Or Call of Duty, and you can switch between game modes in between. This time I'm going to be going for the drop. I'm going to be trying to get the supply drop. Yep, we'll have Bing here 4 to 6-ish. And then League of Legends and Street Fighter will be warming up and getting ready for their matches at 7. All right. Okay, we're going to run for this cabin. I also don't take like very good stuff with me in these matches. I have a lot of really good equipment. I just don't use it.
If you want the airdrop to fall into a different zone, use the comm station.
I think I'm okay with where it's spawning. Oh no. I don't want to do a duel. Dang it. I accidentally pressed the phone again. Crap. That may make our run go a little shorter. If someone picks up. I just got the supply key to... Where is that at? Oof. If someone answers that phone, that means that I'll duel them. I did it last time and won. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go ahead and go for the supply cache again. That's my target. Oh, somebody did answer. Okay. Oh, dang, they're way up there. Okay. Helpers. I'm going to relocate it. Yeah, I'm good where it's at. Are they trying to make their way to me? Yeah, it looks like they're trying to. It's fine. We'll just keep an eye on it. It's got several people starting to show up. hear somebody. Dead. Poor fella. Ooh, dang, he had a bunch of stuff. Now his homeboy is still on his way. He's still on his way. He's still trying to make his way downtown. Walking fast. Okay, fine. I keep like wanting to chicken out of doing this, but I'm just gonna go do it. If I get caught, I get caught. Whatever. How long does it keep us connected for a duel? Oh, he's not coming to me. He's not doing. He's abandoning his search. So I picked up a key to a supply cache that is buried. Everybody that finds the key gets the same location. So it's not a unique location, but it is for the map. And once you find the location, you dig the stuff up, and then it sits there. So everyone knows where this is if they have a key. I don't want that, but I am going to take that. Just didn't want to be standing right there. It looks like our person that's trying to get to us they've just decided not to engage. But I said I would stick around for the supply drop, so that's what we're doing. I'm just finding a good spot. I do not like this spot. It's way too open. All players in the range have their map markers disrupted. Well, there you go. We're just hanging out. I don't know. He's kind of sticking around, so maybe we'll run into this guy. I don't really like this being out in the open. I don't like it. We're just patiently waiting for either people to come. Did I take damage? I guess I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So I wanted to see who's all in Twitch chat. Must have been Pirate chatting lately. We're just waiting. Being patient. dog is like maybe coming. I don't know. I like the dueling system. I think it's kind of fun. But I am being going to be killed.
The plane is
There he is. I
incoming.
see him.
Beware of the drop zone. It will be dangerous.
Oh! Oh my god, you saw it here. You saw it here first, folks. Holy crap. That was a one shot way across the map. Oof. You hate to see it. Oh, you hate to see it. That was so savage. And there's the drop. You hate to see it. That was so dirty. Oh, God, you hate it. I would be so pissed. If it was me, I'd be so mad. But then again, when you're dueling somebody, you can see them on the dang map. Is it down yet?
When looting the airdrop, always be cautious. Other Outlanders may be watching.
Yeah, other Outlanders may be watching. Oh, crap. I gotta break something quickly.
Whoever has the airdrop will be tracked. This gives you a chance to track them down.
To get the crap out of here. Yeah, you heard that. So now that I have the airdrop, like, everyone can see me. So now it's the stress of, like, getting out of here. The good news is I think I've killed 2 people. So that's a good thing. Okay, here we go. I love working at Disney World. It's great. I honestly should have probably tried to go get that guy's stuff. Oh my gosh, I got a long ways to go. Gosh, like we're still looting. Variable speed is another thing that's interesting with this game. Your speed, how quickly you're moving, is determined by a lot of different factors. So I don't know why it really bothers me when like your character only moves like A or B. You know, they either move like slow or fast, and it doesn't matter if like the incline or like gravel material, what they're running on doesn't make a difference. Oof. Again, just trying to run with the tree line. Another, I guess, reaction timing thing. Oof, this is not good. It's not good because there's no cover. I'm wide open. Oh my god, get to the truck. Yeah, that's a dangerous jaunt right there. All out in the open. Whew. Well, there you go. I guess, you know, vigor, it's where it's at. I got an airdrop. Great work. And I got, actually, honestly, though, I got another gun, too. Not only did I get the loot, I also get the gun. Because I killed that guy pretty early on. And he had a so I'm using I always go in with, like, just basic stuff. But he had, like, basically a level 2 I'm using level 0 and he's using level 2. Yeah, you can see this whatever you call it. But then I don't use that, so ammo becomes a very annoying thing too. Don't need the adrenaline shot. Ammo. Okay. There you go. There you have it. There's that's Vigor for you. Vigor's great. Give it a shot. It's free to play. It's a good shooting game. But I'm gonna drop off here actually, just because I want to go see if I can stream. Yeah. All right. Well, y'all have a great day. Thank you all for hanging out today. On edition 19, I did go back and double check my numbering. We are on number 19 officially, but thank you all for hanging out on the Coach's Corner today. I'm going to check in with these guys getting ready to skirmish Bing High School and see what they need, if they need help or anything. And I'll hopefully stream. So if you are following our stream, you'll get notifications if we go back online. So, and I'll post it in Discord if we do. So if I see y'all later, great. If not, thank y'all for being here. Have a great rest of your night.